everyone. Welcome back to Tiger Time. So today we're with an amazing art teacher here at Northeast, and she's here, and we're going to talk about the creative and challenging side of art. So let's jump right in. Introduce yourself.
Okay, I am Crystal Bride. I teach Drawing 1 and Drawing 2, which will be next semester. I teach photography every semester because there's such an interest in that. And been married for 40 years.
Congrats.
So, yes, I love it. Unfortunately, none of my children followed in my footsteps. So, yes, I love my job. I've been teaching for, I believe this is about 19 years.
Wow.
So,
That's a long time.
I love it. Lower grades can be challenging, but it can be really fun. High school, I wanted to teach high school in order to inspire students to pursue art careers. So hopefully that they would go on and improve their work. And it's amazing when you run across somebody and they have that passion.
So what inspires you to become an art teacher?
It's a very interesting story. I didn't get to have art in high school. The time that I went to high school, which was here in Boonville, we didn't have an art instructor. So my mother and my dad kind of looked around and asked around for anyone that could do private lessons. So that's how my art education actually began. The one that I remember the most and had the most influence on me was a man by the name of Gerald Bennett. He was an alumni of Northeast also, but he had polio when he was a child. And so he was physically handicapped. He had braces on both legs. His left arm was completely paralyzed, and he could not reach up to comb his own hair. But he loved art so much that even though he couldn't teach in a school setting, he could do the private lessons. It really inspired me because he had that love of art and kind of passed it on to me, so that when I got through with high school, I decided to major in art. He had a very difficult time getting through school, and he went to Delta State, so it took him longer. So that was really my inspiration. And I would always go back and get tips and different types of strategies from him, get pointers on my artwork and things like that. It was really difficult when he died, but I credit him for most of my interest in teaching art.
I love how you talk about going out and inspiring people.
Yes.
And I love how you talk about your mentor and how he inspired you.
Yes.
'Cause, not everyone has like a person they can always fall back on to
Right.
ask for tips and questions.
Right.
So the fact that you had that person, and it's kind of like me and Jamila, like that's Miss Liz, Miss
Right.
Allie for us.
Right.
But having that person to go to for inspiration and
Right.
tips is always helpful for your further development.
Right.
And I love how you're crediting him for that.
Yes.
That's so awesome. So, what is the best part about teaching art?
It's like those aha moments when you see a student understand what I'm trying to teach them, or they discover a technique on their own and says, "Oh my gosh, I love this." I just love it.
So dealing with art, you always hear about like creative blocks and things of that nature. So have you ever had like a creative block where it's like,
Of course.
I can't think of anything?
Yes, of course.
So
And most of the time that is because I get too busy in other things. Um, in order to get out of those, I usually have to just kind of take a break from what I've been doing, kind of ease myself through or take a walk or something like that. Go through my pictures on my phone, all these things, because I make pictures all the time, especially my granddaughter. And kind of go from there, because there are particular types of things that inspire me to create. And if I get away from that, that's when that creative block happens. So even with students, one instance just this week, a student told me that she couldn't figure out what to do, so she titled her work Brain Fog. So it's really interesting how you can come up with these things. I asked students to draw an image. I'm trying to remember what it was. An image of what they felt or what they were thinking about. And I had one student who just happened to be a senior that year in high school, and he just drew this big scribble. And I looked at it, he looked at me and told me, that's what's in my brain right now. And because it kind of upset me to begin with, but then when he went into explaining it, it can fit.
Right.
It's different for everybody.
So, how has your art style changed over time?
As far as my art style, I've always tried to paint and draw as real as I can get things to look, because that's just what I like to do. But I roll kind of through different types of themes or series of works. I was going to bring one today that I have started working on for my mother, and just looking at it and working on that. This was a flower that my mother grew in her little backyard garden, and she wanted to paint it. She's about to be 83 years old, and she just couldn't figure out how to get it to look right. And her vision is not the best that it used to be. So in order for her to get that, I decided I was going to do it for her. And I'm doing this in oil on canvas. As I was working on that, I just started thinking, okay, well, I'm getting excited about the way this is looking. Let me look through my phone and see what else I can find, what I want to do. I do good photography too, but there's just nothing like putting it on canvas or putting it on watercolor paper.
It's like seeing your vision just like on the canvas,
Yes.
the enjoyment of
See,
that.
and I used to do, before I got into teaching, I was a graphic designer in a screen printing shop. And when you see that on somebody's back out in the public, you look at it and say, I did that.
Right.
I totally understand what you're saying. I recently made a graphic for the softball team here, and when I posted it and just seeing people just repost it and repost it and repost it,
Right.
it's that enjoyment that's like, dude, I made that.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, and they
Exactly.
enjoy it. So I totally understand what you're saying.
Right.
What advice could you give someone who wants to pursue a career in art?
Just keep on going.
Just keep going.
Keep on going. Don't lose your passion. I didn't start teaching immediately out of college. Life didn't work that way. And so, but I knew I wanted to teach. I saved and saved and saved all kinds of stuff in order to have them in a classroom for your lovely still life stuff.
Right.
And so, yes, when the time was right, I got 3 job offers in 2 days. So when it's right, it's right.
You just gotta trust God's time.
Mhm.
You got it. That's exactly right.
So, if your art style had a personality, what would you say it would be?
Personality. I thought about that last night.
Mhm.
I have to say flowery,
Mhm.
bright, energetic.
Mm.
Now, I would not say necessarily that my houses that I've done are all that energetic, but it puts forward a sense of history.
Right.
So that's important to me too, because my husband and I both love history of the United States. I love the history of art, and so the combination of the two get me where I need to go. I just wish I could sell something.
Right.
Well, everyone, this is our Tiger Time podcast for today. We want to give a big shout out to our guests. And if you have any tips, or not any tips, any questions on art, you know who to talk to.
Miss Bride.
Miss Bride, what room are you in by chance?
I am in Anderson Hall. My office number is 109. I'm next door to Melody Sheehan, and I teach drawing in room 105.
Well, you heard it from Miss Bride. I hope you all have a blessed day. And this is Tiger Time.